Welcome to our podcast, voted one of the best in the marketing research industry in 2019, and we're happy to say again in 2020. This is Research Business Daily Report. It's the only daily research news video that's available out there with one important story for you as a member of the research industry every Monday through Thursday most weeks. Now, we do rely on viewer support, which means you can pitch in, and we'll tell you how at the end of today's RBDR. I'm Bob Lederer, and I'm in my 26th year as the respected voice in market research. Anyone who's been exposed to survey and other research that invited or required the participation of physicians knows how prickly they can be. They can be very demanding for their personal attention to needs in return for their cooperation. But when the pandemic struck early in 2020, we saw another side of physicians. Reports were rampant about more enthusiastic research cooperation from the group. To understand if and why that was true, SurveyHealthcareGlobus conducted a study, and on today's RBDR, we're receiving more detail from Chief International Officer Matt Walmsley, whose company did this important piece of research. Matt?
Thanks, Bob. Doctors are among the busiest professionals on the planet, and yet they felt that when the coronavirus hit, that part of their Hippocratic oath required that they find ways to share their valued information. So, among many diverse groups, physician response rates on market research surveys were and have been consistent or increasing since COVID-19 hit. We have access to over 1.3 million healthcare professionals and conduct research among 150 different therapeutic categories. However, to test the strength of the evolving research reality with physicians, we did a research on research project with our physician community. This past summer, we conducted a 10-minute online survey with over 200 healthcare professionals. We asked about three things: what motivated panel participation, these doctors' expectations and frustrations with our current panel research process, and finally, how we can engage them better. Here's what we found. Certainly, doctors said that they expect to be paid for their time. No surprise that honorarium was stated as the overall top motivator for participation. At the same time, participating doctors view research from an altruistic lens. A top motivator for the participation is desire to learn and stay current in their specialties. Additionally, these physician respondents had an interest in the topic and the feeling of empowerment in sharing their expertise with the goal of helping to improve products. And there was a compelling learning for us in the research field. Healthcare brands can help doctors to give back, plus feed their desire for continued education and knowledge. Doing so accomplishes every current researcher's intent for better respondent engagement. Perhaps not surprisingly, we discovered that the physicians can be as frustrated by screening methods and survey design as the general public. 1/3 of physicians we were in touch with said an improved screening process was the most pressing change they would like to see addressed across healthcare market research. 1 in 5 respondents said that they stopped responding to a firm's survey invitations when they were consistently presented long, complex surveys, or when the screening process regularly disqualified them. The magic number of screening questions appears to be 5. 70% say if they reach the 5th screening question and they disqualify, they feel as if their time has been wasted. Who can blame them, especially as these individuals spend their time saving lives? We can empathize with many of these doctors' problems with research. Medicine maintains its path towards greater specialization. When I started in the industry, qualification rates with physician surveys ran about 80%, but last year it hovered just above 40%. So it's hard not to feel that the research industry should be limiting screening questions. In medical terms, we need to triage our screening process so the most important ones come first or second. The physicians also highlighted the imperative to save their time in every aspect of a survey. That has become even more important during the pandemic. Short and simple questions with easy interfacing is preferred. 87% of respondents said that just 4 or 5 answer choices are appropriate for a simple, multiple choice survey. Over 3/4 said they preferred to answer many multiple choice questions spanning several pages versus a few condensed pages of matrix questions. Plus, seemingly minor tactics, such as the frequency and consistency of honorary payment and clear attention to healthcare professional feedback by your help desk, make a big difference in physicians feeling that they are appreciated. Market researchers need to keep the golden rule in mind. in every aspect of their physician research project, and to maintain a feedback loop on respondent sentiments as actionable and treats physicians as people, not simply an end. Respondents are the lifeblood of our market research business. We have a responsibility to ourselves and our industry to help physician respondents be as active and engaged as possible, to expedite the life-enhancing treatments our clients are developing.
That wraps up today's Research Business Daily Report. Now, as we mentioned at the start today, we hope you'll become a Patreon supporter, which means agreeing to provide us with a monthly contribution through your credit card. And we're talking about perhaps $5 or $10 for an individual and maybe $25 or more if you're a business. Both help us defray costs and maintain our excellent reports. Now, our newest Patreon supporter is the president of the Hawkeye Consultancy from out Denver way. It took him only 2 RBDR videos before Chris Hawk decided to chip in. So our thanks to Chris. For the remainder of you, well, view us today, and what can we do to earn your support? Watch RBDR regularly or watch us semi-regularly, but continue to view us and gain the insights from our subject matter and from our guests. And if that isn't a good enough reason to become a Patreon supporter, well, we'll come up with some others. Please visit RBDR's exclusive crowdfunding platform at patreon.com/RBDR. And when you get there, select whatever the level of support might be comfortable for you. And keep watching and tell your peers about how you're benefiting from doing so. Have a good research day, and we'll be here tomorrow to welcome you back. And until then, please stay safe.